Hello and welcome back to Haven and Hearth. So, looks like our cheese is ready. You can see the texture has kind of changed in the rack there. And sure enough, cheese tray, halloumi. We have halloumi. Alright, let's go ahead and get it out of the rack and get it out of the trays. Now, each one of these should produce multiple pieces of halloumi and has a chance of producing a curiosity called a perfect whole, or the perfect whole, something like that. Let's go ahead and see. Slice up. Hey, we got 3 pieces of halloumi. Excellent, excellent. And now these are all equal amounts: constitution, intelligence, and dexterity, which I believe are all things we're a little behind on. Constitution and intelligence. Dexterity we're not that far behind on, but it is not at the highest level, so we'll be able to eat this at least a little bit until we get that ding of dex, at which point we might want to back off. That's okay, I've been making some other foods too. We are going to be running a little low on space here. I made some candy apples because they are charisma and int. I had also made, oh yeah, I also made the fruit salad. The other one I made was better. This one was made with grapes, and it made the charisma really high. The other one I made was with the green apples, and that was better. I'm wondering if ones I made with blueberries would be even better than that, but I'm not sure. Anyway, let's finish getting this cheese out. Alright, so no perfect hole this time. Does halloumi stack? It does not. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put the remaining halloumi in here. And we're going to go ahead and make another batch. I could start a different type of cheese if I wanted to make a rack in an appropriate place, but I don't at the moment. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we should get 8 more. We should get 8 more out of the milk that is already in the curding tub. But let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's get it put back in. And that will take another couple of days, which is fine. I might want to make some more of those trays at some point, because I could theoretically make different types of cheese at the same time. Darn, I was going to move that rack. You know what? We haven't had it in very long. Let's see if we can... I don't know what'll happen, but you know what? If I end up with generic Gouda once, that's not necessarily going to be a problem either. Let's pick you up. Yes, we can. Okay. So this cheese rack is going to move into the other house, into the stonestead. Which, of course, since it's a big, heavy object we are carrying, we're moving fairly slow. How's our sheep looking? No additional lambs? Okay. Oh, keep going. Hello, cow. Do. Our blueberries are still in the mound. That's fine. Let's move this on in here. Alright, and we'll put it just in the corner here, I think. Yeah, that'll work. And now, since we're indoors again, let's go ahead and put those in. Excellent. Alright. That should be good. How is everything else looking? Doesn't look like we have any more of our crops ready yet, which is fine. That's kind of to be expected. All of these are fine. Okay, I think we're pretty good. Oh, did I leave anything in the... I did, right. Oh yeah, I have another bar of lead that I want to grab. Ooh, you look like you need something. You are a little bit short on the old tanning fluid. In fact, how is my... Yeah, okay. Let's pick up our barrel of water, carry it over here. Just kind of got to do little bits and pieces of maintenance around the base, you know. Now, this will probably make it so I have to put more bark in, which it definitely looks like I'm going to have to. That's okay. Just means the concentration isn't up to snuff. How are we doing? Oh, I actually emptied that barrel. All right, what's our concentration at? Because I think it has to, yeah, it has to be over 5% in order to actually do its job. So, let's grab a bit of bark. We don't necessarily need it to be super great. We're not trying to intentionally get, like, you know, incredible quality, you know, leather at the moment. Especially since I think for the most part, this will just end up getting used for our eventual making of a palisade downstairs. Which is probably something we should also look in on. It's also kind of why I'm carrying the... Oh, you know what? I had some over here, didn't I? Yeah, I had one. Alright. I don't know if I have any more leather. Actually, I should really see, because I need 10 leather for the... What's it called? The palisade that I was just talking about. So you would think I would remember what it's called. Not seeing anything. You know, I'm gonna grab these bat wings while I'm here. And I'm gonna head over here to the herbalist table. And I'm gonna put them on the herbalist table. Why, you may ask? Because you can dry bat wings into a food. And I know, the bat wings themselves are a curiosity, but if you look at it, they're not a great curiosity. It's a 40 experience cost for less than 1,000 learning points. It is generally just not good. You don't want to have to spend a whole lot of, you know, XP in general, but especially not for a small amount of learning points. Not when there's far better ones out there. Alright, so, as you can see, I have been continuing to carve myself out. I've actually carved out into here, you know, out into the major area here. I think, I am not sure. Let me look at here real quick. I want to survey. Alright. Let's see, you're right there. Okay, I can go right there and then make the turn. Okay, that looks alright. I'm going to kind of expand out a little bit into this area, which is, you know, okay. Just kind of... Nope, that's not what I actually want to do. I am going to need to destroy this stalagmite to put, you know, palisade along here. But it does mean I don't necessarily have to clear out any of that stuff. I will ultimately end up needing another pillar because... If we go over here, it doesn't reach this area, and I will have to clear this out eventually. But it should be good otherwise. We are going to need something on the back end here, though, which is why I kept the bar of lead on me. Because theoretically, at the very least, I cut myself on a pile of rocks. Theoretically, I should just be able to kind of go out and hopefully get about even with that in there. I'm probably going to need a third one, to be perfectly honest. I don't know why I said a third. Well, kind of is a third, I suppose. I'm going to need another one after this. Kind of in this general area. Maybe I'll be able to put it over here and not have to futz with things too much. Who knows? I'll figure it out as I go. But ultimately, yeah, I'm going to need another support pillar or two, or maybe three. But I'll keep working on that. And then once I have this area enclosed and with another claim up to cover it, I'll be able to start moving some stuff down here. Most notably, I will end up putting the chickens and eventually the rabbits down here, which the rabbits are going to have to get delayed a little bit longer. And I realized why my instinct was to hold off on it, even though I theoretically had the bones. It's because I'm going to need 20 bones to put up the palisade down there. So, and then I'm going to need another 2 to put the claim in. So that's why I was like, something's telling me not to do this yet, and that was it. I just didn't think about it. All right. What else do we got? Anything of note? I mostly started recording this episode because I knew the Halloumi was ready. How is this doing? Yeah, we're just about filled back up again. We're gonna have to, at some point here, get a bit more of that going. I know I had said I want to wait for the Druidic Rite. Do I still want to wait for the Druidic Rite? Yeah, I can afford to wait a little bit longer. I was thinking about maybe planting an apple tree or something, since I started making like the candy apples and the fruit salad and stuff. It'd be good to have some in here. But we're about to head into winter anyway, so I don't necessarily think it would grow very well then. I might as well wait at least till spring and then maybe get working on that. Oh, of course, we have our charcoal here. What do we got? 24% done? Let's go ahead. Grab the bucket. And get whatever tar has accumulated moved. See how much we've got. We got not even a full liter. Yeah, this is the problem with doing it with boards instead of blocks, is even with something that produces a lot of tar like pine, you end up losing a lot of it. Because 24% done, and I had moved a little bit out before, but not much. But that should have been like maybe 2 liters if it had been blocks. Of course, it's also not entirely full, but still 90% would have been, it would have been closer to that than where it was. So, alright, we've got 10 liters of tar. That should let us make a decent number of the tar sticks. What are you at? 21? Sure. What about you? 30? Why not? Let's see. What was the quality on some of these? That's 14. That's not great. 59. Nope. They wanted that. 63. 59. We'll grab some 59, so why not? I know quality doesn't matter the most here, but it does matter a little. Alright. Let's see how many tar sticks we can make. And maybe we will take a journey down and get some of that brimstone. Let's see. Processing and materials, tar sticks. Yeah, I should be able to make 4, which is going to be enough for 2 boxes of matches, I think. Oh, wait a minute. I only have the stuff to make 2 on me. Alright, you know what? Let's futz with this a little bit. I don't actually need those lower quality sticks. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and just kind of put these back down. I was, for some reason, thinking it was like 1 per when it's 5 per, whatever. We'll go ahead and make these 2. That's enough for 1 box of matches. Let's just hit craft all. That'll take almost half our tar. Like that. Now we have 5.6 left. 40 quality. Not bad. Now I think... Nope. Alright. So those are going to be not stockpilable, so we'll just stick them in this little crate here. Like that. You know, we're going to stick my bar of lead there. Let's go ahead and put away the bucket. And then, I believe, we should be able to go on our little journey, which it doesn't stay marked on the map, but I think the geyser was right around here, like this general area. So I'm going to walk over that way, and we'll be back when I find the geyser, or give up, I suppose. There's always the possibility that I'm just like, I can't find it again, I give up. But no. Should come back, we should have the geyser, because I did not show harvesting the geyser last time. I'm hoping that because everything is so low population on this server, due to it being very old, that the geyser will hopefully have some brimstone for us. Alright, so we'll be right back in a moment. Alright, quick update. I am down here, where I thought the geyser was, and just didn't save on the map for some reason. It's actually up here. It was just outside a different settlement, so I can understand why I was confused. I'll be changing directions, and heading that way. Alright, I have just come in range where on my mini-map I can see the geyser. Hey, good, and it has its resource. It gives different, what's it called? Different animation there, or, based on whether or not it has any of its resource. And the erupting like that means it has brimstone in it. So let's go ahead and collect some. I need 3 per box of matches. I have enough tar that I could make 2 boxes of matches. So let's shoot for 6 and hope we don't overshoot or undershoot too much. So it does this thing where it is really slow to start gathering, and then it rapidly gathers what's available. But we should be able to interrupt it once we get to 6, maybe. Let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Done. Alright, that's all I want. And I'm going to just take a quick little sneaky peek around here. Oh, the stuff has been, planted recently, I can see. Not sure what's up with all of that. Redfish, huh? Alright. Oh, and they've got a mound and everything ready for winter. Okay. This is obviously an active player who may or may not be on right now, so we're just gonna Hearth back. I managed to grab a couple of ladybugs while I was out, so I can throw those into my study desk, since I don't have space for them at the moment. Let's do that really quick. There we go. Alright, now let's go ahead and work on some of these matches. So the block, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and just take a couple of more blocks from here. That'll do. That will do. Alright, so now, really quick, before I do the next part, I'm going to swap over to my stone axe, because it is higher quality. And then I will go split, which they lost a little bit. They came down to 59, but that shouldn't be too bad. Alright, so let's come over here, grab our existing tar sticks, we will come over here, craft up 2 more tar sticks, using the vast majority of our tar. Alright, and then go all the way back up into Adventure, Smoke and Fire, Box of Matches. Let's make both of those. You need to be using a boiling cauldron. Right, I forgot that part. Do we have fuel in the cauldron? We do. The water's probably on... Yeah, the water's 24. That's fine. Like I said, there is a limit to how much I care about the quality. Just some stuff was readily available, so let's grab our existing box of matches. Get this cauldron lit. Alright, and here we go. Box of matches. Craft all. Okay, much higher quality than my previous match. My previous was 16. Both of these are 36. These have 28 uses each. That should have us in the green for a little bit, right? Right. Okay, so that's where my box of matches goes back to. I'll put the other ones over here for the moment. I don't really want to be using those when I have the other ones still available. Excellent. That means we're good on that for at least a little bit. Is there anything else I want to do with the ye old cauldron? Well, there kind of is. I haven't checked the chickens today, but I know there's some eggs in there. You know what? Yeah. Let's grab... I'll grab the 13. That'll do. I just kind of want one to get this discovery out of the way, and it will unlock some other recipes, which is kind of why I'm doing it. Let's open that up, and in it goes. We're going to hard-boil ourselves some eggs. Maybe, theoretically, kind of, sort of. We'll let that do its thing for a bit. This barrel is empty, is it not? It is. The question becomes, do I refill it here, or do I take it over to that 50 quality well? Because I've got some 50 quality water in this barrel over here. Yeah, we'll just keep the 24. I've been using the 24 for common stuff, and just using the 50 for, you know, things where I really care about the quality, so that'll work. That'll work. Alright, so I don't know. The fact that it had a timer on it before makes me confused as to whether or not it's doing its thing. That's okay. We'll give it a little bit and see. Let's see. Anything else we need to do? I don't particularly think so. I think we're actually pretty good. I mean, I could, of course, do some of the energy-intensive tasks like mining and, you know, chopping down a bunch of trees, things like that, because I'm going to need a bunch of wood for things. That doesn't necessarily matter about the quality. There's a lot of things I can do. The problem is most of it is not going to be, you know, things that you really want to watch for the long period of time it would take to do so. And I don't have that much longer in my preferred episode length either. So let's just kind of keep an eye on this for a moment. I don't know. I suppose I'll come back in a little bit when the egg is ready. Alright, I am back. It didn't take very long that the egg ended up getting boiled. And as you can see, boiled egg is perception +1. That is a useful thing. And hey, we got that. So now we should have discovered a few additional recipes, because the boiled egg does have some other uses. Specifically, chicken salad. As you can see, that one is... I think that takes a roast chicken, right? Yeah, it takes chicken that we already cooked, boiled egg, and salad greens for some reason, which is a little weird to me, since That's not how you make chicken salad. I mean, I suppose that could be a stand-in for something like celery or something, since that's not in the game, but a little weird because, chicken salad isn't a leafy salad. But let's see. Do we want this? That becomes the question. Constitution, perception, and dexterity. Well, the dexterity is something we're not trying to get at the moment. But we could do with a little bit of the old perception. Oh, let's go ahead and put out that cauldron. We're kind of done with that for the moment. So I think we'll just hold on to the egg by itself. How much energy does it give? 100? Not the most, but not terrible either. Could we please? There we go. Yeah, I thought there was one space left. All right. We've got our table full. We've got a lot of energy we need to expend, which we've got tasks to do that are going to do that. Mostly it's going to be mining, but like I said, there's going to be a little bit of collect some wood, because I'm going to need a bunch for the palisade. That's really what it boils down to. Oh, it boils down to and palisade. I should have made the bone glue. I can make it when we actually need it. I'm going to need to do some more leather anyway, because I've only seen that I have 5 and I need 10. Well, I guess we'll get these hides going then. Yay. Concentration. Yeah, you know what? We should be able to dump a little bit more water in there and maybe have the concentration remain high enough. I would like to have this, go without too much of a hitch. This will provide another 4, which means I'll still be 1 short, which means I'm going to have to go and make some more dried hide and all that jazz. That's okay. I should have plenty of time to get some more little lambs. None at the moment, but that's okay. They come every few days. And I think that between clearing out, as much of that stone as possible and collecting some more logs, it'll probably be a few days before I record again, so hopefully I will have enough leather. That is the hope, at least. I've got all the stuff I need for the rope to start the palisade, so that shouldn't be a big issue. We'll have to see. We shall have to see. I think that's going to do it for this episode. It's a touch short, but not much. And who knows, the amount I ramble here, I might actually hit the normal episode length by the time I'm done talking about this episode anyway. So what did we do? Well, obviously, we got our halloumi. Our halloumi was done. We've started a second batch. That stuff is going to be pretty good for leveling stuff up. Nowhere near as good as the higher level cheeses, but we're not quite ready for those yet. We really need a cellar before we can start doing a lot of that stuff. What else? We went and got Brimstone. Showed you how to, showed you what the geyser looks like when it has stuff available. We fortunately only grabbed what we need, so we're not racing the clock to, try and make more. And I don't need to go get more right now anyway, because the quality we got gave us a good number of uses on 2 boxes of matches, so that's good. Yeah, we were pretty much Halloumi and Brimstone, which I think is my episode title now. Sounds good to me. Alright, that is going to do it for this episode. So, until next time, have a good one.